Reid Hoffman, the guy who got to social media before anyone else. Is it two questions? Is it too late now to get into the social media game? And secondly, what comes after social media?
So let's see. On the first question, I think it's too late if your view is, oh, it's Facebook but uses Flash, or it's Twitter but 200 characters rather than 140. Those sorts of things. I think it's definitely too late for. On the other hand, I think that part of the thing that's interesting about consumer internet and technology is that it's continually inventive, and there are things that, like, there will be a massive company that we haven't thought of that will be massive 5 years from now.
Even that you haven't thought of?
Absolutely, right? I mean, I actually think one of the things that makes you a good investor and a partner is you don't think it's all about what's in your head. It's discovery of new people with their ideas. You go, oh, that's really interesting. Here, let me help you with that. Is, I think, a key portion of what's exciting about the game, and a key portion about how to be a good partner. And so, in terms of social media, I think social media, because people are, this is back to Aristotle, we're inherently social animals. And so social is, I think, here to stay. And so it's not like social goes away. But I do think that the question of it moving from more passive activity to active activity, where people know what they're doing with the tools, that there's a more sophisticated use, that it's integrated in a proactive way as opposed to just kind of, hey, what's on TV kind of way, is, I think, one of the things that's going to be happening in the future.
When was the last company that made you really sit up and say, wow, I hadn't thought of that?
Well, it was one this year, but we haven't announced it yet.
Well, can you give a name of one that?
Okay, so
Twitter.
Twitter. Actually, Twitter was a surprise because it started with, oh, look, people posting SMSs, who knows. But actually, the ability to configure the public attention space and through all the analytics and everything else actually turned into much more interesting than I would have initially predicted. It was very cool. You
don't use Twitter that much.
I use it a little. I don't blog much, an equivalent, and when I generally use Twitter, I'm just trying to draw people's attention to something. I've been thinking about using it more. We have all kinds of integrations between LinkedIn and Twitter. Another one would be, when I invested in Mark and Zynga, I definitely thought that when I looked at the Facebook platform, I thought games. I was right. But part of the thing that's been massive is not only, I kind of thought it would be people who liked playing games and them getting the social experience as well. And as it turns out, Zynga has gone into the lives of a lot of people who don't think of themselves as gamers or as people who play games because of the social experience in between. So that was, like, for example, now I wouldn't have predicted it, but that was another kind of, oh wow, kind of learning.
Clay Shirky says that the web now is real life, that the two are indistinguishable. If that's true, I actually personally think it's true. What does that mean for social media and its future?
Well, so I think it means it's here to stay and it's part of our infrastructure. And I think that, part of the whole kind of social networking revolution was, in the previous Web 1.0, you kind of go to this distant place of the web. You take on a pseudonym. You have an avatar. You kind of, like you have a chat room name, ID, and you kind of, and it's a different place. And
Second life, right?
Yes, exactly. The rules aren't the same as they are in real life. Part of what was key and powerful about the social networking revolution is you're actually there by your real identity, your real name, your real relationships. And therefore you have some accountability. So for example, if I post on my Facebook, status update, so-and-so is a moron and I really hate them. Well, all of a sudden I'm making that statement publicly within my community, and the people who like me for making that statement or hate me for making that statement comes out, and that's part of the implication of that. And so the fact that it's integrated in that way with our real identities and our real life is, I think, a very good thing. Both in terms of the value that we get and also in terms of our accountability of behavior. And that's where I believe that blend, that they are integrated, right? Integration probably be the best metaphor I could think of.